Welcome back, Bills fans, fans of the game, fans of quarterbacking and being a leader in just about anything football. It's your host, Jeremy Mountain, back with another episode of Blue Mafia, Bills lovers everywhere united. If it's your first time, welcome back. Hope I didn't lose you already, but you know the drill every week. Saturday morning, the guy Jeremy here on camera gives you a little breakdown on what to expect in the upcoming Bills matchup and also 5 quarterback matchups of the week around the NFL. This week, as we know, divisional round, deep into the playoffs. We got a lot cooking on today's show. You got a good one for you. I'm rocking the Brown Cowboys, Wyoming, Josh Allen jersey. Because last week it was good luck and he played probably his career best game ever. So we're wearing it again. It's good luck. You got your rituals. You ready to rock? Let's do it. We got 5 things to look forward to in the Bills game and also 4 quarterback matchups of the week. Because we are there, baby. Next week's going to be the conference championships. We're going to pick them. We're going to break down what you got to watch for in that NFL deep implications. So let's do it. The Buffalo Bills are embarking in a new frontier under a new quarterback. But Bills fans need to understand to enjoy this moment. Don't get too rocked. Don't get too messed up. You're going to want to remember these moments, as we've seen. OC, DC, Leslie, Dable. They could be gone. That Showen guy. Clearly a behind-the-scenes guy, but new GM of the Giants. Enjoy this. Ariel Halawani was saying, just give me one. I don't know. I would be disappointed if just this little spurt of success was the end of this new era in Buffalo. Because I don't think it is. I think this is a little bit of a dynasty getting going here, if I'm being honest. Because when you have guys on the defensive side speaking as highly as you hear Jordan Poyer and the other guys on the defense talking about the quarterback, that stuff is contagious. The bottom line is this Sunday at 6:30 in Arrowhead, if the Buffalo Bills lose, in my opinion, from sitting here in the home studio in the Elmwood Village, they will have had to lost the game and deserve to lose the game. Because Brandon Beane has put this team in a position to succeed, but specifically what I have not seen really any national pundits speak on is the defensive line, 10 deep defensive line that the Buffalo Bills will be traveling with to Kansas City. This defense was specifically formulated to coagulate the Chiefs' explosive offense. There should be no excuses on Sunday night around 10 p.m. when those press conference and questions come. There should be no excuses from the Bills that have been there in the AFC Championship before. They've been in Houston and seen the loss at the wild card divisional level. Can't remember. They've been there before, though. 22 starters returned. Trey White. Key loss. Dane Jackson has stepped up. No excuses. Josh Allen and the offense had a perfect game last week, so we can see what the offense is capable of. This Chiefs defense was not ranked as high as the New England defense was that we went up against last week. Did that Patriots team quit on Mac Jones and Bill Belichick? I don't know. That defense seemed to not want to hit the Bills last week. And maybe it was the Bills who really did kick up the intensity a little bit. No excuses this week. And that goes for all three phases of the game. One thing that makes me a little nervous as a guy who used to study the game from the sideline and on the field in my has-been career, special teams was something that could make or break a game, and you knew that. And I've been on good teams, and bad teams had bad special teams, and good teams had really good special teams. Just heard that the Packers' special teams is one of the worst in the league. DVOA. Hate that term, DVOA. Offensive DVOA. Special teams DVOA. Passing on third down DVOA. Fuck off. Go hit someone. But this is what I'm afraid of. Everybody laughs and jokes about how the offense has been so great. No punts last 3 games, I believe. Matt Hack. No punts. I'm not exactly worried about the punter if he needs to punt. We've seen him get a few blocked. A little slow on the swing. But it's not that I'm exactly worried about. What I'm sort of worried about is coverage and reps. And what do I mean? I mean, live reps in a game are sort of impactful, you know? So if you don't get those reps, not only is the punter not getting those reps, but the guys that got to go cover the punt don't get those reps. So don't let Mecole Hardman run one back this Sunday night, because there's no excuses for that. Good teams have good special teams. Another guy who really has no excuses, but I'm going to sort of handicap the way I approach his expectation for this game, and that is Tremaine Edmunds. Some guys in Buffalo are talking a lot of smack about Edmunds. I've actually, as we've mentioned here on the pod, I've come around actually, and I was an early kind of deflector of the Tremaine Edmunds hype, and I'm actually more of a fan now than I ever have been, whereas some pesky Bills fans have sort of turned on Edmunds in terms of loyalty. But for me, my buddy Jeff Maine, the Maine Minute Man, he brought up a good point, and that is Dane Jackson was exposed in the Bucs game when there was a good amount of weapons on the other side. But I think that was so early in the process of replacing Trey that the defense has sort of filled in some gaps and surrounded the core of the defense more as a team management kind of way, rather than doing some things to rely on Trey White on the outside and what he can do in coverage. So I think that the defense has certainly been able to be malleable, and maybe is more malleable now because it's not dead set on knowing that Trey White's out there. The trust of the defense has almost grown. And in that trust, Tremaine Edmunds is a constant cog for the offensive game plan. But versus the Chiefs, he is a liability. He's not a liability against the Chiefs' run game with Clyde Edwards-Helaire returning. Also, Jerick McKinnon, weapon. number one, keep your eye out on the backs and how Edmonds is able to handle the backside of the backfield. But covering Kelsey is somewhat of an issue, obviously. But for Edmonds, a guy his size, he is a middle linebacker. And he does have hips somewhat of a middle linebacker despite his raw speed. And the basketball style of Travis Kelce, using that space in the paint there in the middle, it's going to offer a lot of hot routes if the Chiefs want to take them, because I have a feeling Leslie is going to have everything kept in front and basically try to make Mahomes throw hot fast, get it out quick, or as we know, he likes to scramble. But in that case, we have to get hits. No respect. Respect, but no restraint. Respect your opponent, but don't restrain. This is the playoffs. Kill or be killed, as we said last week. I'd like to see Tremaine Edmonds blitzing the A-gap. Basically almost like a 50 nose guard. Just have him come down and shake things up and run a 50, but with him basically just playing patty cake at the line of scrimmage and trying to knock down passes when adjustments are made at the line of scrimmage to try and get things out. Could it cause him to get caught up in the wash? Maybe. But I think Tremaine Edmonds would make a terrific defensive lineman, and with that, why not bring him off the edge? Do a little rotation. Bring someone into the middle of the field. Have someone else come into the middle of the field as a defensive back or nickel back to Ron Johnson maybe, and have him spy in the middle and sneak Tremaine off the edge. Wouldn't mind seeing it. That being said, the fourth thing I want you to look out for are what I call Super Bowl hits. Last year on Twitter, I started sharing some, crazy-eyed GIFs, whereas I started calling out for the defensive players of the Bills to perform what I call hashtag playoff hits. Bring the noise. But we're looking for a little bit more intensity this week. Even more intense than playoff caliber. Hashtag playoff hits. We're looking for hashtag Super Bowl hits. No fear, no restraint. Respect your opponent. No restraint. There is no tomorrow for this Bills franchise team. There is no history for this franchise team. It is only today for this team. No fear. No restraint. I got the Bills. I have a feeling about 41-26 Bills. Let's get it over to the implications. I'll leave you with this. Once again, if the Bills lose on Sunday, it'll be because they deserve to. And if they win, it'll be because they are the better team, the tougher team, and the more creative, on-the-fly quarterback when shit hits the fan. And you can try to talk me into Patrick Mahomes, and I won't exactly disagree with you. But if I'm going to battle, I'll take Josh Allen. We'll see you on the other side. Welcome back, Bills fans. It's the implications. You know what it is. We're getting into the end of the year here. We only got 4 quarterback matchups, but they all have historical implications at this point. All year long, we talked about the top 5 quarterback matchups of the week, breaking it down for you. characterizing the quarterbacks, putting a little bit of thought into what it would mean down the line in the later stages of the year during the playoffs. And here we are. We talked about it all season long, and we're going to be back next year because until the day I die, I will be here playing the hits. Your favorite Buffalo football podcast host, Jeremy Mountain. So remember the name. You're going to see me around forever. I'll be writing about it, talking about it, interviewing players. Mark my words. Mark my words, Charlie. Pagers will never be replaced by cell phones. So we got a possible literal burial. It's gonna be a burial. Rams, Bucs, two guys, Matty Stafford, Tommy Brady. Two guys that jumped ship, two complete opposite ends of the spectrum. I'm not going to lie, I kind of came around on Stafford. Never liked him that much. Always since the Colt Brennan game, the first time Colt Brennan died. Rest in peace. The first time that Colt Brennan was almost put underground, of several times before he was actually unfortunately deceased. Rest in peace. Aloha. The Georgia-Hawaii game was one of my favorite examples of what a rotating defensive line can do to a highly skilled, potent offense and explosive quarterback in the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. That Georgia team just dismantled Colt Brennan on the turf of the Sugar Bowl. And he was definitely concussed in that game, probably twice. But Matt Stafford was able to just come in and fucking whip it around like nothing. AJ Green, I think no Sean Moreno. But I've never really been able to like Matt Stafford after that dismantling that I witnessed. And I kind of always thought that the fact that he had Megatron was primary reason why he did much in the NFL. I like what he's done. I'm rooting for him on Sunday. Saturday? Sunday. Rams, Bucs. I like what the Rams are doing. Are they not the most store-bought in teams that you've ever seen in an NFC Championship? No. They're not in the NFC Championship. That's why this is kind of interesting to me. It's because the 49ers and the Packers, on the other hand, not exactly store-bought. Some more sustainability. Young coaches. The Rams, the 49ers, the Packers, obviously all buddies. McVay, Shanny, LaFleur. But the Bucs, Bruce Arians limping along, dripping his alcohol, limping on his Achilles, smacking players on the head, looking sunburned like he just got off the golf course. They've lost control of that team. And they're really limping right now. And I just don't know with the injury to Wirfs and Jensen on the O-line. That center, Jensen, is extremely impactful on their success. And the continuity with the receivers is all out of whack. Brady's sort of having to do things with, some guys that he didn't think was going to be... He didn't think he was going to be having to do things with at this juncture. I think I have to go with the Rams, predicated on Jalen Ramsey being able to be a bitch for Tom Brady. That's not mentioning Von Miller, who looks like he's finally in rare form, and also obviously Aaron Donald. I just don't know if the Bucs have the men. They're down, obviously, running backs, receivers, the drama. I just don't think it looks good for them, and I think Brady knows this might be it. 49ers Packers, gimme, versus Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers is like the cool old dude at the party who you didn't think was that cool. He was always pretty chill. But I, as a Favre guy, always looked down sort of on Rodgers, but he has become a master of the quarterback position. Historical master. I think that he will have another great game. I think that Rodgers is dialed in. I think that he wants a Super Bowl. And I think he wants Tom Brady so that he can sort of take the belt from the champ and knock him out and send him home, and then watch Rodgers win a Super Bowl and then leave to go try and do it with someone else to try and double down, discount, double check, Super Bowl, heavyweight, interim, double champ. Keep an eye out for that in the offseason. Maybe Rodgers will just go away to an island and become like Tom Hanks in Castaway. Jake Plummer and him just go make beef jerky on the frontier and end up like fighting to the death like Tom Hardy and Leo DiCaprio. I could see it. I could see Aaron Rodgers and Jake Plummer battling to the death over a piece of meat in the frontier, in the Alaskan frontier. But it's not Jimmy G that you see out there, is it? Do you see Jimmy G fighting over that last piece of meat in the Alaskan frontier of Lambeau? I don't know. They've got a tough team. And even though Jimmy G is metrosexual, they're a tough team. And Debo's tough. And Kittle's tough. And that Trent Williams is tough. Kittle, Debo, Trent Williams. Elijah, that running back, is not bad. Brandon Ayuk, they have the weaponry. Can their defense be a tough team in the Alaskan frontier? Can they fight over that last piece of meat? I think the Packers just get by based on Rodgers in the advantage. So that's Rams, Packers for Jer. In the AFC, I already picked Bills over the Chiefs. Like I said, I just feel like these teams are about equal. I think that whoever sort of has the ball last probably wins or loses the game. And that's kind of a generalization, but I think that in this matchup, if you think back to like the Goff Rams versus the Chiefs, it was like a Monday night game where it was like 60-50. I don't think it's going to be that serious because it's going to have playoff hits and Super Bowl hits. But I think that the Bills are a little bit tougher on defense, and I think they want it a little bit more. And I think that if they can put a few licks on Mahomes, Mahomes is not going to mind losing as much as Josh Allen will if he loses. Secure the bag, Josh. Go get it. I got the Bills. And then finally, the first game of the weekend. Joey Bags heading down to King Henry's lot. Can the fresh-faced Joey Bags take down Tanny and the Titans? We will probably see a lot of Mike Vrabel's face gnawing on Chaw. We will see a lot of babyface Zach Taylor. Hear about how he was ID'd at his own post-game party. The only way that the Titans lose this game is if Joey Baggs throws for like 400. Because I don't think the Titans are going to be able to... I don't think the Bengals are going to be able to stop Derrick Henry. That is unless, of course, he is not who he typically would be. But you have to imagine he is by now. Could be a bad injury. Either way, though, he can get some tough yards. He can get some first downs. He can get some 6-yard carries. He doesn't need to go for 290 yards on 50 carries in order for them to win. He just needs to control the line of scrimmage along with the offensive line. But if for whatever reason, a couple mistakes here and there by Tannehill, if he doesn't do a good job of doing what he does best in managing the game, and Joey Baggs can catch a couple hot ones to T. Higgins or Jamar Chase or any of those receivers, Uzoma, the tight end, is outstanding. They have the weapons to put up the points. And I really do hope the Bengals win, because it would be freaking sweet to have the Bengals at home in Western New York. Will the Bengals be able to take down Tanny and the Titans? I think so. I think they have the weapons. I think that they have enough young, competitive spirit. And I think it would be awesome if they were able to get an AFC championship at home. But also, as Ariel Helwani said on Bill Simmons' podcast, it would be interesting to see the Bills right the ship with the Patriots and then be able to go back to the place of the Music City Miracle and win the AFC championship versus the Titans and right that ship. And then, lastly, beat Tom Brady and the Bucs in the Super Bowl. That would be just about the best NFL script you could write. And I'm not going to lie, Helwani, good call on that one. Because I was sort of thinking about it'd be awesome to have the Bengals at home, but it would be probably more awesome to take down the Titans in Tennessee and then beat Brady. But I got Brady getting his ass kicked this weekend, and I have the Bengals taking down the Titans. So that's my upset prediction of the week. I got the Bengals over the Titans. I just don't think Henry's going to be himself, and I think Joey Baggs is on a freaking mission now. I just hope that he doesn't beat us next week in Buffalo. And we'll see you next week, because this is not going to be the end. Whether or not the Bengals win or not, I got Bills, baby. Let's do it. We'll see you next week. Love you.